Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Right of Return Conference. I'm thrilled to see you all here, and I'm looking forward to a weekend full of thought-provoking presentations that will bring a new dimension to the discourse surrounding the pressing issue of Palestinian refugees and their right of return. Our program this weekend seeks to examine the practical implications of the implementation of the Palestinian right of return through research and scholarship that has been integral to the international movement in support of the Palestinian struggle for fundamental human rights and self-determination. The goal of this conference is not only to challenge ourselves intellectually, but to bring into context the Palestinian right of return within our respective positions within academia and solidarity movements across the globe. We are all here for our own reasons, whether it be because we are Palestine solidarity activists, scholars of the region, or are personally connected to Palestine. For many of us, it is difficult to distinguish between our personal connections, political activism, or our scholarship, but I think more often than not, our experiences in each have contributed to our ability to engage and contribute to all of them. And with the experience and expertise that we each bring to this conference, I hope that we can expand on and build from the work that exists around the right of return already. One of the goals of this conference was creating a space that we can all contribute to. This conference and its goals extend past what we will see on the stage this weekend and will hopefully blossom into a fruitful discussion among attendees long after the conference is over. I am surprised and honored to see the names of the guests that are in attendance today. There are so many people here that I am absolutely in awe of, and I know that we will have so much to learn from the presenters and attendees that we will be seeing in the procession of the conference, and I hope you all are as excited as I am. I want to acknowledge how privileged we are to be in each other's presence and be here and be able to learn from each other. The conference committee first began planning the conference as a result of an off-the-cuff remark by noted queer theorist and activist Judith Butler at her lecture in Boston last spring. At the time, she was speaking about the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction Campaign, BDS, an international grassroots movement that seeks to target Israel through boycott, divestment, and sanction until it complies with international law to respect Palestinian rights and self-determination. After she finished her lecture, while commenting on the intense pressure that she faced speaking on the issues of BDS in the United States, she commented, "Wouldn't it be great if you all planned a right of return campus on your campus, or right of return conference on your campus?" The implication, of course, was that targeting Israel economically, culturally, and academically was less controversial than the right of return of refugees violently displaced from their homes. Butler's suggestion led us to think about how the discourse on the right of return has manifested in the Palestinian struggle over the past decade. Although Butler's comment may have been in jest, it proved to be the spark that would ignite many months of work and organizing to bring you into this room today. Our work today builds off of a long legacy of academic and activist work on the right of return. One of the first major conferences in the United States pertaining to the right of return was held here in 2000. With the distinguished Palestinian intellectual Edward Said as its keynote. As Said reminded us at the time, many of the institutions that claim to speak on behalf of the refugees or in support of the right of return have been systematically complicit in shifting the focus away from their plight and the urgency of return. As the right of return discourse has slowly been marginalized from the mainstream, this seems to reflect a larger trend wherein the right of return has been relegated to the realm of the theoretical or the abstract, which we principally affirm, but has in fact been increasingly divorced from the political solution that we are being told to envision and we ourselves are speaking of. In the last few years, the one-state, two-state debate has captured the imagination of many Palestine activists, and we have seen a tremendous outpouring of the imagining of a Palestinian political future in ways we had not previously imagined. Last year, an innovative one-state conference was held at the Harvard Kennedy School and offered us a space to radically imagine and explore new visions for political solutions. Today, we hope to build upon that work by offering visions of political solutions that insist upon the centrality of right of return in the Palestinian struggle and in the radical reimagination of a Palestinian future. In addressing the future of the Palestinian struggle, we must ensure that the 7 million refugees scattered across the world remain at the center of our discussion. The right of return is at the heart of any future political solution. On May 15, 2011, tens of thousands of Palestinian refugees gathered at the Israeli borders in Lebanon, Syria, the Gaza Strip, as well as East Jerusalem, the West Bank, Jordan, and Egypt, to commemorate the 63rd anniversary of the Nakba, where over 750,000 Palestinians were ethnically cleansed from their homes in historic Palestine. This expulsion is the root of the contemporary Palestinian refugee crisis. The Israeli forces opened fire on these demonstrators, killing 15 and wounding hundreds. This conference is dedicated to those who gave their lives on that day in order to keep the hope of return alive in the hearts of the Palestinian diaspora. As we saw 2 years ago during the Nakba Day protests, Palestinian refugees continue to position themselves around the memory of their displacement and insist upon their inalienable right to return to their homes in historic Palestine. The tragedy that ensued on that day was a harsh reminder of the obstacles that confront the refugees seeking to return to their homeland. We are here today to further the same political struggle that the Palestinian refugees who died on that day fought for, and for all of the refugees who have kept the right of return alive. Refugees refuse to be forgotten, and we refuse to forget them. Thank you.